Hello everybody, welcome to Anu Green. My name is Anu and I make videos from the province of Alberta in Canada. I want to say a very special welcome to all my new subscribers and to my old subscribers, especially the ones who asked why I didn't post a video last week. Thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate every one of you. So today I'm going to be showing you how I made this yam potato balls. If you're thinking of how to make breakfast different, or maybe lunch, or just a snack, or you're just thinking of how to make yams and potatoes in a different way, I would recommend you try this. They were very yummy, full of flavor, and it was just different. So I'll be showing you some of the things that I used. The first thing on my list is Irish potatoes. So I had 3 Irish potatoes that they were just there and they were proving not useful, so I just cut them up. Then I have frozen yams here. This is about half a tuber of yam. If you want to preserve your yams and prevent them from getting bad, you can put them in the freezer. And then I have bacon bits here. These came from the store just the way you see them. They come in a bag. And then in this bowl is the spices that I used. I have black pepper, ground red pepper, turmeric, and garlic powder. So the first thing that I did, because my yams were frozen, I put them on the stove first in some water, and then I added a little salt so that the yams will get seasoned a little bit, and then I added the potatoes afterwards. So the yams I left to boil for about 10 minutes just so they could defrost, and then I added the potatoes when they were like halfway done. So while we're waiting for the potatoes and the yams to boil and become soft, I'll be sharing from the book of Isaiah chapter 40 verse 31 in the New Living Translation. It says, "But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint." The preceding verse before this in the chapter says that even young men will get tired. They will fall in exhaustion. I'm not sure about you, but I've been in situations where I realize I've come to my wit's end and I can't help myself anymore. But guess what the Bible is telling us? That we can receive strength from God to keep going and to keep going. We keep going and we keep going. We will walk, we will run, and we will soar with wings like eagles. But this strength only comes when we rely on Him. So once the yams and the potatoes were soft enough, I took them off the stove to cool down, and then when they were cool enough, I put them in this food processor. As you can see, if you don't have a food processor, a blender might work, but I'm using a food processor here because it works perfectly. And I will be adding the spices that I showed you earlier, so the turmeric, garlic powder, ground pepper, and black pepper. And then I added 1 seasoning cube and the bacon bits. I also added a little salt to taste, because when I tasted after they had boiled, I realized that it wasn't salted enough, so I added just a little salt. Taste to make sure that the salt is good enough for you. So once I added all the ingredients, I let the food processor do its thing. Great tip I'm going to share with you here. If you're an African that likes to eat pounded yam, this is a simple way to make pounded yam. Boil your yams and then put them in the food processor, and they'll come out, your pounded yam will come out fluffy. Trust me, this is what I use because I don't have the mortar and pestle here. So whenever I feel like eating pounded yam, I boil yams and use my food processor. To make this delicious balls, I had some oil in a plate that I dipped my hands into, and then I had 2 eggs that I would be dipping the balls into after rolling them. I also had some flour that I added a little salt to, just because I didn't want them bland. I added a little salt to my flour, and that I'll be using for the coating. And just look at the bright yellow color of the mix in the food processor. If you don't like turmeric, you can actually substitute and use curry if your taste buds are more used to curry than turmeric, because turmeric can be quite some spice. It has a mind of its own. And then also, I think I should mention that if you want, you can skip the dipping into the flour pat. If you want, you could just dip it in the egg wash and fry like that. I feel like they will come out still very nice. And also, you can either use yam or potatoes. You don't have to combine both of them. I had 2 of those things. I had a little bit of potatoes and I had a little bit of yams, and so I just combined both. But I feel like if you use just one of them, it'll be good. And I'm sorry that you can't see the circular motions that I'm making the balls into. That's what happens when you are both the cameraman and the chef at the same time. My husband wasn't home, so yeah, but you can kind of see what I did. Just scoop some out, kind of roll them like you're playing with Play-Doh or slime or clay, and make some balls. It's pretty easy. Dip them in the eggs and in the flour, and then set them aside in a tray. So after rolling all of them, this is what they looked like. Like I said, you can skip the dipping into the flour part. I just wanted a little crunch to mine, and that's why I dipped them in some flour. And so here, since we'll be frying, we'll need to deep fry. And then, so I had plenty of oil in my pan, and I put some onions in the oil. If you don't know why I put onions, you can go watch my brown skin puff puff video. I explained why I like to put onions in my oil when I'm frying stuff. So yeah, I'm just frying them. Once the oil was hot, I could tell because the onions started frying. I dipped them and I fry them in 2 batches, just so that they can have space and not disturb each other in the frying pan. Okay. So yeah, so I fried for until they were golden brown. You could cut it because the yams and potatoes were already cooked, so they don't need to be fried for too long, and you don't want them to soak up oil. After frying, this is what they looked like. They were crunchy on the outside and then super soft and gooey on the inside. They were so good. And I dipped mine in some Nando's spicy sauce. And my number one taste tester, my husband, actually liked it. He was trying to figure out what the bits in it were, and I told him they were bacon bits. So yeah, please try that if you'd like it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It is free. Like and share, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.